The time has finally came for Chronovore, man. Farming Chronovore. We're gonna be going and slaying Chronovore in this video right here. A lot of people wanted this video, and this is one of my hardest videos, to be honest. One of my hardest videos because Chronovore is very tedious, and getting the stones for solo and groups is just it's pretty annoying. But I finally got it, y'all. I know y'all been waiting for this, and you know what? It's here. Farming Chronovore. And yeah, let's get right into the gameplay, man. First things off, we're gonna be doing some groups, and then I'm gonna solo off with some chain blades, because chain blades probably my best weapon to really solo with. I'm not as good with the other weapons to solo, but I can also make up some videos for that as well. But for now, y'all want this video, I got y'all, and I want to compare what the amount of damage you can do in a group compared to other people. And these builds, they carry their own in the group. You can really carry with these builds. So with this, we have the sword. The sword is going to have Catalyst, Cunning, Energize, Overpower, Sharpen, and Assassin's Frenzy, and Berserker. Catalyst, 60% tonic effectiveness and duration. We're going to be using tonics for these builds, man. This is Chronovore we're talking about. We got to slay this. We got to farm it, get them parts, and be done. Cunning, we're going to have that critical strike chance and that damage, especially on the sword, which is a very fast weapon. Energize, we want that special real quick. We get that Avenging Overdrive, get that parry. With Overpower, we got Stagger Behemoths, extra damage. Now, you can honestly go without Overpower, but once you get that part break, you're going to stagger it a little bit, and it gets down for about like 5 seconds. But you deal a lot of damage in those times, and that's when you get your part breaks, is when you stagger him. Then we have Sharpen, of course, part damage, extra part damage. Assassin's Frenzy, once you get that part break, you're going to get some attack speed for 20 seconds. Don't want +6, don't need that 40 seconds, just need that 20 seconds. And then we have Berserker to spice it up. The more damage we keep on doing, the more damage that will like stack up. So just keep on doing your damage, and eventually you get 10 stacks and just up to 20% with +3. So we have Iceborne. This is survivability and damage for these builds. I wanted to mix in both, and because you're probably going to get hit. You may not. You might flawless it. Who knows? But of course, you can always change the Omnicell. The Omnicell is always interchangeable, and so hey, if you get hit, you can just keep on regenerating that health, and you'll be fine. You're still doing your damage. You just don't have that discipline or that revenant to get that extra percent. Then we have for our sword, we're going to have Cunning, Assassin's Frenzy, Avenging Overdrive, Recursive Hill, and for the bond, we have Hellion, Overpower. This is Torgadaro. I tried with the other swords, and I think Torgadaro is just the best because the bond, how you overpower, and it's really what you need. You don't need the Assassin's Frenzy, or you don't want to go under 20% health with the Thrax. You could, if you really want to go under 20% health, use the Shroud Thrax bond. You can, and it's really effective, really powerful. For our Lantern, we're going to have Catalyst on this, Strike Zeal, so we can get attack speed. We have Stormclaw's Helmet with Cunning on it. We got the Time Reset with Sharpen. We have Drask, regular Drask with Energize. Then we have another Time Weave with Berserker. And that's going to conclude for our sword. Let's go ahead and move on to our axe right here. This is basically the same builds. These builds are all the same because, you have the cells that you need to slay Chronovore, and these are pretty much the best cells you can really get. And yeah, so with this, we're gonna be using the axe, and we're gonna have, of course, Catalyst, Cunning, Overpower, Predator this time. Predator, 35% health while not taking any damage for 15 seconds, and stays on until you get hit, and then resets. We got Sharpen, Assassin's Frenzy, and Berserker. We have Iceborne in this one as well, survivability and damage. You want to make sure you're alive and not getting hit, because Chronovore hits for a truck. So, yeah. We have Mind Splitter, which is Thrax's axe. Cunning, Berserker. We got Grim Onslaught, or throw our axe. Overcharge Cylinder, we get up to 75% extra damage on the 4th level. So make sure you do that. You use your charge attacks. Assassin's Frenzy for the bond, which is Riftstalker. Then we have Strike Zeal and Catalyst. Then we had Thunder Deep Drask Helmet with Cunning. Time Weave with Sharpen. We have Malkarian with double Predator on it. Then we have Time Weave with Overpower. That's going to conclude this right here. Go ahead and move on to our hammer. And our hammer is going to have Berserker, Catalyst, Cunning. It's going to have Fortress this time. Because with hammer, it's very slow. You can get hit real easy if you're doing your combos and, you know, get stuck. So I have Fortress on this. Get that extra shield, survivability, and damage, man. You want to survive in this fight. Then we have Overpower and Sharpen. I'm going to get that to +6. But then we have Discipline for this. Since we have Fortress, we can survive with having Omni Cell. We don't need that life steal as long as we're, you know, not as getting hit as much, getting hit like once every few seconds. You know, Fortress, it goes up. Then we can have that Discipline with the extra critical strike chance and damage. For our Arrogance hammer right here, we have Fortress and Fortress. Mighty Landbreaker, extra damage once you hold your heavy attack. Put down the Mighty Landbreaker. You get that buff. Turbine Trigger. Priming our attacks. We get more attack speed. We want as many hits as we can with the hammer. So we want that attack speed. Then for our bond, we have Koshai, extra sharpen, and after not dealing damage for 4 seconds, you get that extra 50% damage. We have Strike Zeal again with Catalyst. We want attack speed. We want to slay Chronovore and get this over with, man. Don't want a long fight. Then we have Shroud Helmet with Berserker. Time Weave. Oops. We got Time Weave right here with Sharpen. Time Weave again with Cunning. Then we have another Time Weave with Berserker. And that's going to be our hammer here. Now, move on to our Chain Blades. So with the Chain Blades, this is my best weapon. So, of course, I'm going to go all out on this weapon. Yeah, so we're going to have Revenant on this. I'm going under 20% health with this build, man. Under 20% health. We have Shroud's bond here with Cunning. Under 20% health, we deal 50% extra damage. So we're going to have Berserker, Catalyst, Cunning, Overpower, Pulse. Every 5th hit is a critical strike with strike damage. Now, Chain Blades is like one of the fastest weapons in the game. So you're going to get them critical strikes really quick. Really quick, especially with the tonics, especially with Strike Zeal, and that's why we want Pulse. And that's why I do have the Chronovore boots here, but you can replace these. You can actually replace them with, you know, Time Weave leggings or Koshai. It does not matter. And then you can replace the cells up here. I have double Berserker and then have Reaper's Dance Momentum Blades. So we have the extra special. And yeah. And of course have Sharpen. Strike Zeal is going to have Catalyst, Thunder Deep Drask with Cunning, Time Weave with Overpower, Drask with Catalyst, and then of course Chronovore with Pulse. And yeah, so we're going to have Chronovore threads on this. So you have to slay Chronovore already, get the boots, but it's worth it in my opinion. Very worth it, and of course there's alternatives. Alright, moving on with the Pike. This is going to be Iceborne. We're going to have +6 Assassin's Frenzy on this time. Get that 40 seconds of attack speed. Berserker, Catalyst, Cunning, Overpower, and Sharpen. We're going to have Iceborne again, survivability, and damage. I say this enough. You want to survive, y'all. You want to survive. So we have Iceborne. Alright, so we have Thrax's Pike here with Cunning and Assassin's Frenzy. Savage Wellspring is going to give that 30% critical strike chance. And it gives us everybody in the circle. So your group, it's going to be really good in the group. Like, these builds are really good in groups. And you can also solo. The only difference with solo is, I mean, if you can dodge good, then there's nothing wrong. You'll do it probably even faster. But I'm showing y'all with the groups, how they do in groups. Because most likely people are going to do this in groups. And, you know, it's better. It's better. If you're struggling with Chronovore, just do it in the group. No worries. And, yeah. So, Executioner Spearhead, if you want to wound, of course, go with this. And yeah, for the bond, we have the Rift Stalkers with Assassin's Frenzy on it. Strike Zeal with Catalyst. We have Thunder Deep Drask with Cunning. Time Weave with Sharpen. Torgadero with Berserker. Time Weave with Berserker. And that's going to conclude this build. Here we go. Our Aether Strikers. Strikers going to have Catalyst, Cunning, Overpower, Pulse. Pulse is a fast weapon, so of course you want that critical strike chance. And damage, we got Sharpen, Assassin's Frenzy, and Berserker. Here we go. Iceborne, again, a lot of these builds can be, you know, interchangeable with anything. So you don't just have to use Iceborne. You just don't have to use Discipline. Use whatever you feel comfortable. Of course, Discipline is going to give you more damage. Revenant is going to give you more damage. But with all these cells, you're going to do just as much damage anyway. For our Thrax's Aether Strikers here, we have Cunning, Berserker, Titan's Crash. You can use Adamant Bolt if you want. Adamant Bolt is it's a little slower as far as, you know, you get in that bolt, you get in the air, and you can't really dodge. It's a little harder to dodge that with it. So yeah, be careful with using Titan's, or not Titan's Crash, but Adamant Bolt. All right, so we have Psychon Strike Plate, and for our bond we have Rift Stalker with Assassin's Frenzy on that. And the shadow orbs, the reason why we're using Rift Stalker is because these shadow orbs. And these orbs gives us extra damage the more orbs we have by 2.25%. Someone can do the math on that. Alright, Strike Zeal is going to have Catalyst on this. Thunder Deep Drass with Cunning. Time Weave with Overpower. Drass with Catalyst. And Chronovore again with Pulse. Of course, interchange it with Koshai if you want that Predator. Or the other Time Weave with that Catalyst. And of course, then you can take off Berserker and put on Cunning or whatever you need. Alrighty. Moving on to our last build right here. This is our last build. Yep. We got the Repeaters. Alright. So with Repeaters, we have Berserker, Catalyst, Overpower, Pulse, Sharpen, and Cunning. And Iceborne again. Now, you could probably dodge maybe easier with the Repeaters than any other weapon, because you're shooting. As soon as you're shooting, you can easily just dodge while shooting. Basically, it's instant. So you can put Discipline on this. I put Iceborne because, you know, I want that survivability. All right, so we have Berserker and Berserker on Thrax's Repeaters here. Salvo Chamber, Captain's Grip, Lucky Magazine, so that critical strike chance every round missing. Then we have Shrouds, Furies of the Night. Now, of course, you can use Revenant with this build, with that Cunning. I'm not focused on the 20% or the 50% damage while under 20 health, 20% health. I'm not focused on that. I want the Cunning on that, but if you have that, you can use Revenant and deal a lot of damage. Strike Zeal is going to have Catalyst on this. Thunder Deep Drass with Cunning. Time Weave with Overpower. Regular Drass with Catalyst. And we're going to have Chronovore, of course, alternatives with Pulse on this. And that's going to be it for these builds, man. This was a long intro of, you know, going over these builds. But, you know, gotta make them good and gotta go over them precisely. And, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for these builds. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of the gameplay, man. Hope y'all really wanted these builds. I hope these builds are really good for y'all. And not just for Chronovore. Use these builds in Escalation. It'll be just as powerful. And use them in Hunting Grounds. Hunting Grounds, these builds can do anything. Shoot, try Mountain Trials if you want. Doesn't matter. These builds are all good. But for this video specifically, we're going to be slaying Chronovore. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy, man. Like and subscribe. We're getting so close, man, to 1,100. And we're going to be hitting it by the time y'all probably seeing this video. We've been blowing up. I appreciate that, y'all. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, let's get right into the gameplay. Enjoy, y'all.